For many years, NBA fans have been debating as to which NBA player might become the next Michael Jordan. The concept in and of itself is pretty silly. There's only one Michael Jordan. Even though there have been many players compared to the GOAT of NBA's past, like Anderson Varejao, Chuck Hayes, and Anthony Bennett, there are very little who may have had similar careers. Only a few were actually worthy enough of being matched with Michael Jordan or even came close to replicating his style on the court. And if I were to pick a specific player to compare with Jordan, that player would be Kobe Bryant. I'm pretty sure we all know why I think that. For this generation, there's only one Kobe Bryant, but we can still ask ourselves to a certain degree who the next Kobe Bryant could be. Holy shit, that rhymed. I wasn't even trying to do that, but who cares? I'm a rapper now. That's not to say which player will be next in line to have the kind of dominance on the court that Bryant had, because that kind of talent is extremely rare. But what about his run of all-star appearances, his high volume scoring, his amazing footwork? I know many people may say that Brian Scalabrine may be a valid contender for Kobe, but let's be honest here. There's no way Kobe will ever be able to reach the White Mamba's skill level. In today's video, I am going to be breaking down a group of young NBA shooting guards who I feel could potentially become the next Kobe Bryant. Welcome to NBA Insider. Many NBA fans are quick to pay attention to the talent that has been around for many years. Players like Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and much more. But what people often forget is that these players are human and that they are getting older. Just recently, we lost one of the NBA's greatest players, Kobe Bryant, to retirement. Now, I don't know about you guys, but after I got news about his retirement, the first thing that came to my mind was... these nuts? No, not that. The first thing that came... these nuts? No, stop it. What I meant to say was... these nuts? Got him! Got it! Alright, that's it, you piece of... Like I was saying, the first thing that came to mind was, would we ever have a player that would be like the Mamba? And since I know some of you Kobe fanatics out there are going to be upset by this question, let me rephrase it. Is there going to be any player that comes close to being the next Kobe Bryant? Let's take a closer look into this question. Devin Booker. Casual fans of the NBA who don't get to watch a lot of Phoenix Suns games may have no clue who Devin Booker is, but this season they're about to find out. Booker came into the league last season as a 19-year-old shooting guard with major scoring skills, but one who was completely blocked by the large amount of talented guards on the Suns roster. But all of that changed in late December when Eric Bledsoe went down with a season-ending knee injury, opening up the opportunity for Booker. From that point forward, Booker averaged 17.9 points in 34.7 minutes per game in 50 games. That includes 6 games in which he scored 30 or more points, and a 22-game stretch late in the season in which he averaged 21.5 points per game. Did I mention that he was just 19 years old last season? Just 19 years old, and the kid is already receiving inspirational words from some of the league's greatest, including Kobe Bryant himself. In Kobe's last game against the Suns, he scored 17 points. Booker had 28 points on the night on 12 of 22 shooting, leading all scorers young and old. Booker also threw 7 assists and tied for a game high with his teammate Brandon Knight. The best part of the night, of course, was how Kobe talked up Devin Booker. They met on the court after the final buzzer for a few moments and then for another 10 minutes in the locker room. Booker appeared out of the locker room with some signed Kobe shoes and memories he will never forget. Despite Booker looking up to Kobe, Bryant himself had some kind words for the young man. He said, "I think he's fantastic. I think he has the right attitude. He has the right competitive spirit. I think his footwork is extremely sound, his fundamentals are extremely sound, and now it's just about time for him to figure out exactly what his game is, and then he can go on every single night and then make counters off of it. But he has the skills." In my opinion, it completely sounds reasonable as to why the Mamba feels this way about the young prodigy. According to basketballreference.com, Booker has 3 games with 27 points and 5 assists as a teenager. Booker joins LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, and Stephon Marbury as the only teens in NBA history to do so at least 3 times. Devin Booker will also be much better coming into his second season in the NBA after hitting the weight room, filling out his frame, and working on his outside shooting. He will be a star in the league for the foreseeable future, which makes him an excellent contender on this list. Nobody will ignore Booker and his ability to transform into the starting shooting guard on the Western Conference All-Star team. Now, it's just a matter of time. Andrew Wiggins. The fact that Andrew Wiggins was drafted by the Minnesota Timberwolves, one of the least successful NBA franchises, causes people to forget about him a little too easily. At 20 years old last season, Wiggins averaged 20.7 points while elevating his shooting percentage to 45.9%. There's still a ton of room for growth in the young man's game, including room on his body to build more muscle. The good news for Wiggins' development, Tom Thibodeau is now the head coach of the Timberwolves. Wiggins will be pushed harder than ever before, both on offense and defense, to meet his immense talent. If the will and the drive are there, he'll transform into a superstar in no time, possibly into a superstar with the same heart and love for the game just like Kobe himself. In Kobe Bryant's last game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, Kobe was shocked to see the amount of potential Wiggins had. Kobe put up 38 points, but just behind him was 20-year-old Andrew Wiggins with 30 points. There was one play in particular where the two battled one-on-one. Wiggins backed down the Black Mamba, then quickly spun around for a smooth fadeaway. I mean, it looked really beautiful. Ha! Gay! To many, it looked like a familiar shot. Kobe thought so too. As the two walked back down on the court, they exchanged words. Kobe told Wiggins, "Hey, that looks familiar." The young guard replied, "I got it from you, man." Just as Kobe studied Michael Jordan, Wiggins is now studying Kobe. And just as MJ has given nods of approval to Kobe, Kobe is doing the same to Wiggins. The 37-year-old Lakers guard is proud. Even Kobe's dad, Joe Jellybean Bryant, who played in the NBA as well, confirmed his thought that Wiggins was the future of the league. While doing an interview, one of the major talking points was when he was asked who he felt might be the face of the league, much like Michael Jordan and Kobe years from now. Interestingly enough, he named Minnesota Timberwolves Andrew Wiggins. Jellybean said, "Michael is great, Kobe is great. I don't see anyone else who compares to Michael or Kobe. I think the kid in Minnesota has a chance to be special. You talk about the size frame and those kind of things, Wiggins has a chance to be special because really I don't see anyone else." I know you guys are probably laughing at his nickname and not even taking what he has to say serious. I mean, come on, how are you going to call yourself a Black Mamba when your dad's nickname is Jellybean? At least help him get a cool sounding nickname like Joe Lightning Bryant or Joe Splash Bryant. That's a Kevin Hart moment right there.
Help me! Help me! Nigga!
But don't worry, Kobe, I've seen worse names before. Back to the topic. Nobody doubts the fact that Wiggins may end up being one of the best players in the league, which makes the former #1 overall draft pick an excellent candidate to be the next Kobe Bryant. The parallels are there. Both players came into the league at a young age. They are both talented offensively. They both have the wingspan. All Wiggins needs to do is put it all together. James Harden. The most obvious pick on my list is Houston Rockets guard James Harden. The reason? Harden is already well established as a superstar and he averaged 29 points per game last season. He's made 4 consecutive Western All-Star teams, including 2 where he started and 1 where he dropped 29 points. Harden paired with Dwight Howard over the last 3 seasons, helping lead the Rockets to a 56-win season in 2014 and 15 and an appearance in the Western Conference Finals against the Golden State Warriors. Howard is gone now, so even more of the burden to carry the Rockets will fall on Harden this season. If he can help lead Houston to the playoffs or possibly even improve and help them transform into a contender, he'll move the needle concerning his star power in the NBA. Believe it or not, Kobe Bryant and James Harden are actually extremely similar players. That being said, Bryant still has the edge in the head-to-head comparison, but not for long. Sure, Harden may be more explosive than the now retired guard, but he still isn't Kobe. There are still a few steps he needs to take to get on that level, and it'll take some time before I'm personally convinced that he has overtaken Bryant as the best shooting guard in the NBA. In terms of both statistics and the overall impact, Harden needs to make some improvements to catch the Black Mamba. The key to being like Bryant is winning with what you have and trusting that you'll be given the tools to succeed. Staying long term is important for Harden, as it will be impossible to call him this generation's Bryant if he keeps switching teams to find more success in other places, unlike some people.
It's not about keeping your promise, and it's not about following your heart. It's about security.
What is that supposed to mean?
Money!
What are you talking?
He's got a lot of money!
Now I hate you, you
Well, I
slow
hate
bastard!
you. If you leave here, I hate you.
What
I hate you
have
if
you
you
been
leave
paying
here.
attention to anything that's been happening?
I guess not. I think I must have misread all of those
I
signals.
guess you did.
There are a few other interesting similarities between Kobe and Harden, the first of which is that they've both been on teams on which their own stardom has been overshadowed by other elite players. For Kobe, it started the moment he stepped on the court for the Lakers. For the first 8 years of his career, he lived in the shadow of Shaquille O'Neal. While Bryant was a star in his own right, he never really became the Kobe we know now because Shaq's presence held him back. The main difference is that Harden appeared to get along well with the guys holding him back. Harden also accepted the role he was given, that of a sixth man. With that being said, Harden's status in the first part of his career wasn't helped by the fact that he was coming off the bench. Another big difference is the beard. I mean, what would Harden be without his beard? You might as well call him James Soften, get it? James Soften? That was a joke. Now that Harden is starting in Houston, he's putting up Kobe-like numbers and he's leading with his on-court production in the same way that Kobe has throughout his entire career. Harden has given the NBA a glimpse of the kind of player he truly is when his team lets him play his game. One of the reasons why Harden can be the next Kobe is that his approach to the game is similar to Bryant's. On offense, they both thrive in the isolation game. Once the ball is in their hands, the best thing to do is either have a big man come up high and set a screen or just simply get out of their way. Kobe is a pure shooter and both players are lethal off the dribble and both attack the rim with such intensity. James Harden is a player who might just take over Kobe's spot and slowly but surely take over the entire NBA. The fact that Harden now has his own team is the opportunity he needed to solidify him as a top 5 player in the NBA, and we are all seeing that transformation happen right before our eyes. Right now, Harden is a phenomenal scorer and one of the best and most unique players in the game. To truly move to the elite level where he's talked about with just a few other players as one of the best, he must step up his game. At any rate, he's an excellent candidate to pick up the slack for the departed Bryant. And that concludes the video. Did you guys enjoy it?
Yeah!
I can't hear you.
Yeah!
Oh. Nope.
If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more content like this, feel free to show some love by leaving a like and subscribing. Also, if you have any thoughts and or recommendations for future videos, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. You guys should also follow me on Twitter and Instagram to get the latest updates. I'll leave a link to both in the description box below. Until next time, this has been another segment of NBA Insider. Thanks for watching.